Hi, boys and girls. It's Mrs. Hyatt, second grade at Hyde Park, and I'm here today to talk to you about meters and centimeters. We've talked a little bit already this year about centimeters in our morning math that we do, but we've also talked that a centimeter is about the width of our pinky or possibly your index finger, and this small cube that I have here is a 1 centimeter cube, so it's a very small unit of measure. On our ruler, we have inches, and that's the larger unit of measure. And then if we flip our ruler over, we have centimeters, and that's the smaller unit of measure. And you can see that this cube is 1 centimeter wide. And so I can look at this cube and compare and talk about a little bit how many centimeters it takes to make a meter. So if we're looking at a meter stick, that's what I have right here, I can see that it is marked in centimeters, and it even shows me here the cm stands for centimeters. And if I take my little cube, I can see that it is 1 centimeter, and it takes 100 of these little cubes, 100 centimeters, to equal 1 meter. And there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter. We've talked a little bit when we've looked at our inches, feet, and yards that we know a ruler is 12 inches, and it takes 3 of our rulers, 3 feet, to equal a yard. And so you can see here on my yardstick that I've got it kind of marked where we can see the 12 inches and we can see 24 inches. So there's 1, 2, 3 feet equals a yard. And we can hold our arms out when we're talking about that. We can say this is about a yard. Well, if you'll look, and now I hold up my meter stick, it's almost the same. It's a little bit longer, and I'll even show you compared to each other. If I take this, is on top I've got my yardstick. On the bottom I have my meter stick, which is 100 centimeters long. If I compare these two to each other, let me get it straight. If I compare these two to each other, the top is my yard, so this is what a yard looks like, and this bottom one is my meter stick, which is 1 meter. So you can see they're very close, and if we were to hold our hands out to see that measure, it's about the same. So if we're using a non-standard unit of measure, we're talking about centimeters and meters. We would say a centimeter is about the width of our finger, and a meter is about almost the same as a yard. And so a meter is about this big. So if I were going to try and measure something like my scissors, would I want to measure it in yards or meters, or would I want to measure it in centimeters, the smaller unit of measure? I would want to use centimeters. So if I take my ruler and I start at the 0, I can see that my scissors are about 22 centimeters. So I would want to measure this in centimeters. But if I were going to measure how wide my table is, I wouldn't want to have to do that in the small measures, like the measures of my finger. I would want to use something bigger, like my meters, and I would say that my table is about 2 meters long. Or if I look at the round table in the background, that's about 1 meter wide. So I would want to use, if I'm measuring something big, like my carpet, a table, a desk, maybe my couch, I would want to measure it in meters. If I were measuring something small, like my scissors or my stapler or any of these smaller items, I would want to measure it in centimeters. And remember, centimeters and meters are our metric system, and that's our metric units of measure. Inch, foot, and yard is our standard unit of measure. That's the one we use most of the time. And then we can even use our non-standards, which we have them with us all the time. We've got our pinky, which is about a centimeter. I can say my finger's about an inch. I can say from my fist to my elbow is about a foot. And then I can say, if I'm looking at yards, I can say this is about a yard, or I can also say this is about a meter. So I hope this has helped you understand today a little bit. We use either the standard unit of measure, inches, feet, and yards, or we use the metric unit of measure, and that is centimeters. We've got our little finger, or we've got meters. Those are the two units that we use in metric. So I hope you're all doing well, staying safe, and washing your hands. Take care.